Hey, what's up, Facebook? It's Katie here. I am jumping on here live. I was not going to go live today. It was not meant to be something I was going to do. But I just did a video for my group and it was very powerful. I got fired up and I'm kind of ready to fire it up here. And I think it's really good for a Wednesday, a hump day to get you through. Whether you're just starting your fitness journey or you're making excuses for yourself. I know I have before in the past, and there's been those times where I just say, I don't have the time, or I don't have the money, or all these excuses pile up, and you just keep going with the excuses, and you keep going, and you'll say, I'll wait till Monday, and then Monday rolls around, and you do really good on Monday, and then Tuesday comes, and you're still on point, but you have a little treat, and then Wednesday comes, and it's Wednesday, like today, and you're like, okay, no, I don't want to do this anymore. You know, those things happen and people make excuses. And for myself, when I make those excuses, I switch it around to my mindset and I say, it's not a priority to me. And it always sits back in my head where it's like, I have to think about it. Like, is this a priority to me? And I think it is, yeah. It's definitely a priority to me. And I think it's something that should be said, and I think it's something that should be changed and shifted in our mindset. I think I made excuses. I know a lot of people do. It's something that it's really hard not to make an excuse about because you get nervous and you're fearful and you don't know the unknown. But when I first started and I was over 250 pounds, I was approaching more of the 300-pound range. And I didn't have the energy anymore and I didn't feel good and I wasn't confident and I knew something had to change. I finally made this a priority and it shifted for me. I know if you're just gonna go into it and say, I wanna lose 10 pounds and you get to that 10 pounds and you lose it, you know, you're still gonna have to work. You're still gonna have to continue it. And that's why making it a priority and shifting your mindset a little bit will ensure that you're going to live a lifestyle of this. There's so many things that I see in the hospital, people that are really suffering. They're getting diabetes at an early age. They're getting heart disease. Heart disease is our #1 killer in America. And people are getting these things and they're getting them at super young ages. And I look back and I reflect on my journey and I'm 31 and I started 2 years ago and being at almost 300 pounds, closer to the 300 mark, I could have had a lot of things go on in my life. And I chose to rise above it and I chose to finally start setting some priorities and making it a priority. This week has been amazing and a lot of people have reached out to me and a lot of my challengers have reached out and I hear a lot of the things like, I don't have the time to do this, or, you know, I have a party and I have this going on this month because it's summer and I have vacations and I have this, and it's excuses, you know, and you're hearing these excuses and you hear the excuses and you just don't, you want to just be like, you know, it's a lifestyle change, right? I know when I started my journey, it was November 2nd, and I had Thanksgiving, I had Christmas, I had my birthday, I had New Year's, and instead of making excuses like I had been for the first 20 years of my life, I said, look, I'm gonna make this a lifestyle change. These things are gonna come up, and I treated myself every single one of those times, and I still lost 20 pounds in 2 months. And I find that to be amazing that I did that. But what I want to kind of reflect to you is that you can have those excuses and you can decide not to make it a priority, or you can just kind of shift your mindset and say, hey, I'm going to make this a priority. I'm going to make this a lifestyle change, and you can get through those things. So it's just important to kind of change your mindset, shift your mindset, because those things are always going to be there. You're always going to have the parties and you're going to have the barbecues, and this is summer now. So you're going to have the brunches and the happy hours, and you're going to have these things that are going to come up. But you're also going to have those in the winter. That's when Christmas comes, Thanksgiving's here. You have all those treats around and you're going to have those times. So you can kind of shift your mindset and make it a priority. You can make it a priority to change your lifestyle, to change what could future happen to you. You can prevent heart disease, you can prevent diabetes, you can prevent depression, anxiety. You can do those things, or you can make excuses and continue where you are. And I can tell you this, if you decide to make it a priority, if you decide to jump over those hurdles, I talked about breaking those big mental barriers yesterday. I made a blog about it. I posted on it yesterday. If you can get through those things, if you can kind of get through those excuses and you're shifting your priorities, you can find such great windows of opportunity. You can really change your life. You can change your lifestyle. You can find huge windows of opportunities. I was just talking about this with my group, that when I started working on myself, before I started working on myself, I had to leave my job. I had to leave the hospital because I was severely overweight. I was severely overeating to the point where I would feel no energy, feel so bloated, I couldn't even walk, and then add stress and anxiety onto that, and continue to numb myself with food and being stressed, and it's a stressful environment in the hospital. I had to leave the job I was so passionate about. I had to leave, and I had to go to a little bit lesser stressed job to really get a hold of myself. And when I turned in my resignation to my boss, I started bawling, crying. I was so upset because I had to leave a job that I was so passionate about because I was stressed, because I wasn't working on myself, because I let excuses interfere with my life. I didn't set myself as a priority. So I left my job upset, left my passion to go to a lesser stressed job. But I came to find out that it was still stressful. Nursing is stressful. There's so many things that are going to be there. And I thought that this would be an opportunity for me to not be as stressed, but I found stress. Stress is always going to be there. And I made it a priority. I finally did. And now I'm back in the hospital. I'm able to be passionate again. And it's a different kind of passion. I have the energy. I have certain things. I don't use food for comfort. I'm using my life as priority, and that overturns in my life. And there's been so many other instances. My relationships are better. I mean, everything is just better. My life is better because I have the energy, I have the confidence, and I am making myself a priority. And so that's why I want to extend to you, when you are having these excuses and saying, can trust me, I know, because I did it for 28 years. But when you're having those excuses to be like, I don't have the time, or I don't have the money, or I don't have this, why don't you just sit back for a second and just say, it's not a priority to me, and see how that feels. I still have to do this sometimes. My working out is on point, and I still have those times where I don't want to work out, but I always will. I always push myself to do it. But as far as certain other things, on Sundays, I meal prep and plan. I don't want to do that all the time. You know, there's brunches, there's things that go on in life where I want to go, and I can still go, but I still, have to make it a priority. So when those things come up and I'm like, I just don't have the time to meal prep or meal plan, I have to take a second and think, like, maybe it's not a priority to me, and that is what really makes me think. So the next time you're making an excuse to whether it is, I don't have the time, you can always make time if it's a priority. So if you think in your head, like, okay, this is just not a priority to me, your mindset will change. And it'll be a lot different as far as a lifestyle or a fad. Like, you are going to be like, okay, well, you're going to get through these hurdles, and then it'll change in your life, and you'll have like this lifestyle change, and you'll find a balance. As opposed to making excuses and then finally jumping on and then finding these excuses again and then losing 5 pounds and not being able to continue on because you always keep sticking with these excuses and not making it a priority. So that's my spiel for today. I'm sorry, I'm really pumped up about it because I literally just got off a call with some of my groups and something that we've been talking about, and I have been fired up. So I might be all over the place today, but it's something that I wasn't going to go live about, but something I have just been fired the freak up about because it's changed my life dramatically, and I'm hearing a lot of excuses right now, and it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way. And if you shift your mindset to making it a priority, big things will happen. Like I said, went back to my job that I love and I'm passionate about, and it's really finding me a purpose again, and I'm so thankful for it. But just those little things, it doesn't have to be a job. It can be so many other windows of opportunity, and you might not be seeing it right now because you haven't started yet. But I promise you, if you start your lifestyle change, if you start your journey, big things come, big opportunities come. When you overjump those hurdles, those struggles, those challenges, you start to grow. You start to grow as a person, and it only shifts into your life. It shifts into your relationships. It shifts into your opportunities in life. And if you stick with it, I promise you, you will succeed in your life. And that's my spiel for today. So I'm going to stop this because I'm fired up about it, but I hope you got something out of it. Thanks for jumping on, guys. Bye. Have a great Wednesday, and I hope you get through that little hump, that camel hump of the hump day. So bye.